exciting. And we have a special storyteller today. Miss Jo Ellen is going to tell us some stories, and then Miss Sheila has some stuff that's going to happen after, and then we'll all go upstairs and do a craft if you want. So, hey.
Is this clear light?
Is it real life? Is it alive? No, it's not alive, but it looks pretty alive. But you have a seat, Luna. We're going to all listen up.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah. All right.
Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Our first story introduces Scamp the Mouse. Hi, Scamp. Oh, hello. Hi, boys and girls.
Hi.
Scamp, would you mind if I told the boys and girls the funny story about how we met and became friends? Is that okay?
Aw.
All right, okay. Well, here's how it started. I was walking through the clover field one summer day, and it was warm and the sun was shining. I heard bees buzzing. Bzz, bzz. You know how bees buzz, okay? And they were in the clover, and the clover flowers' aroma was heavenly. I was enjoying a fascinating cloud formation when I heard scampering and rustling. Not far from where I stood, I could see the clover moving. As I walked closer and got closer to the shuffle, I noticed that the dear little scamp's feet were caught in a tangle of clover roots. That is a mouse, yes. I suddenly remembered wearing this beautiful scarf that day, so I took it off and I used it to rescue Scamp. I picked her up to keep her nice and warm. I knew then and there that I wanted Scamp to come home with me and be my fun pet. I told Scamp, I'll have to fix a box for you right away, okay? Yeah. Even as I told him or her the good news, I could feel his heartbeat through my beautiful scarf as it went thump, bump, thumpity, bumpity, bump against my hand. I told him over and over, don't be frightened. Little Scamp, but he kept on moving and being more and more frightened every minute. At home, I found an empty shoebox that was quite large. You know how men's boots come in those big shoe boxes? Well, that's what I had, and I carefully slipped Scamp from my beautiful scarf into the box. I put the lid on and poked some tiny holes in it so they'd get air, plenty of fresh air. There you go, little Scamp. Stay there and I'll fix you a real home. Then I pushed a piece of cheese through one of the holes so that Scamp had something to nibble on. But I needed a wooden box. And I found one in the basement, just the right size. I also found a piece of screen to nail across the top so that Scamp could look out and so that I could look in. I thought, this is perfect. I put a piece of soft flannel inside the box for a bed. And get this, a Hershey's cocoa container lid for the water. Then I rushed back to collect Scamp from the shoebox. And as I neared the shoebox, I heard this funny scratching noise. Oh, like scratch, scritch, scritch, scratch. is that? Is it coming from the box? And as I got closer, I stopped, and the noise stopped. But I spied a little hole forming in the corner of the box. Well, that was Scamp trying to get his way out of there. It's good I have a strong wooden box ready, I said. You can't gnaw your way out of that. So I put Scamp into the wooden box. And before I went to bed that evening, I checked on Scamp. He had pulled the flannel blanket around him, and it was curled inside, and I could only see the tip of his nose and 2 shiny little eyes. "What a good mouse you are," I explained to Scamp. "Now go to sleep. You're a little sweetie pie. You're my pet mouse now." Sometime later, I woke up and that strange noise, that sound I heard again in the middle of the night. Scritch. Scratch, do you hear it? Scratch, scritch. Scamp was trying to get out and gnaw his way through that old wooden box. "Oh dear," I said. "Don't you like your house?" "Aw."
He doesn't like it.
"Don't you know you're my pet mouse?" "No." "Well, why would you try to run away?" So I went downstairs. It was late and dark, but I'm not afraid. And I found a large tin can and a piece of wire to put over the top. I went back to our bedroom and I put Scamp inside his new home. I heard an odd sound when I had just gotten back to sleep. Thump, bump, 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 thump, bump, 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 bump. You know what was going on? Little Scamp was trying to jump inside the tin to knock the lid off the can and get out again. I got up and went downstairs again, went outside onto my back porch, and I removed the wire lid and gently left Scamp free from the can. "Oh, Scamp," I said, "you're not my pet mouse. You don't want to live in a cage any more than I do. So I'm going to let you go." Well, as you can imagine, Scamp kicked up his heels. Can you kick up your heels? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And he took off running. And now he comes back and visits me, and we've become the best of friends.
Aww.
I see Scamp every day, and we talk about everything, and we love to do that. Thank you, Scamp, for being my friend. Everybody for a Scamp a kiss. There he is. Throw him a kiss. Then he's your friend, too. Okay. So we'll give Scamp a chance to get back and go run in the field in the clover today because he likes that clover. We're going to start another story because we have 3 altogether.
More story.
I think we might be ready if we gave Scamp enough time to get out into the clover field. Now this one is called Groundhog Day. And tomorrow is really Groundhog Day. Who knows what happens on Groundhog Day? Well, you 2 girls do? Do you want to share?
I know Groundhog Day from my school.
Okay. Would you mind hearing about it again? Okay. We'll do the story and let everybody know what it is. Ho hum, said Tunnels, the groundhog. He yawned loudly, as groundhogs do. Oh, can you yawn loud? Oh, that's pretty good. And he stuck his head from his hole and he sniffed the brisk air. It was fresh outside. His eyes were only half open. I don't know what woke me up, Tunnels thought to himself. It might have been a loud noise. Or maybe I lost my blanket and I got cold. Brr. It's chilly today. Well, now that I'm awake, maybe I'll grab myself a snack. And with that thought, Tunnels went back inside his hidey hole and shuffled around for a snack. He had hidden it just before he laid down for his big winter's nap. He wiggled and wriggled himself back outside his hidey hole to eat the carrot. Oh, look at that big carrot he found. This tastes so good, Tunnels thought as he munched on a carrot he found.
Somebody behind the tree.
I guess I woke up because I was hungry. Tunnels said to himself, because there were no other animals or bugs nearby to talk to.
I think that's where the animals.
Just then, at the very same time that Tunnels was enjoying his carrot, he felt an odd sensation right behind him. It was almost as though another creature was right there with him, in Tunnels' very own personal space.
Another one.
His brownish-gray groundhoggy fur almost stood on end. Wow, said Tunnels. That was odd. It's almost as though I'm being followed.
You did?
Tunnels looked all around himself, behind him and beside him. But the feeling that he wasn't alone, began to pass. Tunnels grunted his short-lived mystery and returned to enjoying his almost fresh carrot. Ho-hum, and my, I'm still so very sleepy, but a nice cool drink of water would be perfect right now. Just before I return to my nap, that is. Well, Tunnels returned to his groundhog hole and had a few more sips of cool water that he kept in a puddle down there. And then he decided to crawl from his hole one last time. I'm still so very sleepy, he said with a yawn. Just like that, the feeling that he wasn't alone returned, and this time even stronger than the first time. Well, I just can't shake this feeling that I'm not alone. Well, I must be. Just then, Tunnels heard an unusual sound behind him. Psst. 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 The sound went, and then it repeated. Psst. 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 Tunnels was completely confused by what was happening around him when he heard the same voice that made the odd sound say, "You're not alone." What? Screeched Tunnels. Who said that? You see, groundhogs can get very high-pitched voices when they don't know what it is that seems to be going on around them. Do you get scared sometimes and kind of get a high-pitched voice? Yeah. I said you're not alone, repeated the voice that he just heard. Huh? Said
One of my parents.
Oh. Well, I don't know, I must be dreaming. Yet it seems like I'm awake. Well, I certainly know one thing. Even if I am asleep, it's very cloudy and cold, and it looks like it might even snow. Tunnels took a few steps from his hole, and he stood there for a few moments listening very, very carefully with his ears and sniffing the chilly, chilly breeze with his nose. Once or twice, he thought he heard a noise, so he became even more still and quiet. As he stood sniffing and listening, he noticed that the clouds in the sky above were beginning to blow and drift away, and part of the sky turned blue. Then the clouds parted from the sun, and beautiful sunbeams shone down to the ground. Well, thought Tunnels, would you just look at that? The sun is going to shine today after all, and it feels lovely. Just then, at the very thought of sunshine instead of snow, Tunnels heard the psst, 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 that sound again. And then that same other voice said, "Hey, hey you, Tunnels a groundhog. Here I am right behind you." Well, Tunnels spun around so quickly he almost lost his balance. "Oh no, I knew there was something behind me," he said quite loudly. "And what do you know? You look just like me. Are we related?" "I guess you could say so," replied the other groundhog to Tunnels. "I'm your shadow. It's Groundhog Day, and now we can tell everyone that since you've seen me, your shadow, there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter." "Oh, really?" said Tunnels. With his warm sunshine, it almost feels like spring is right around the corner. Well, Tunnels needed to think a minute, but then it came to him. Wait a minute, there aren't 6 more weeks of winter left before spring either way. Or there really are. Yes, there are. Tunnels needed to think that minute, and then he said, "Well, there are 6 more weeks of winter left before springtime either way. Yes, I suppose that's true. Then, it isn't time for me to stay awake just yet," shouted Tunnels. "Whether it snows today or it's warm or sunny, I've got some more hibernating to do." "All right then, Tunnels. I guess I'll meet you later when spring really does arrive." Just as another cloud floated overhead and was about to cover the sun, Shadow thought of something to ask Tunnels. "Hey, Tunnels, do you think it would be okay for me to burrow down with you in your chubby hole and have a good nap along with you until it's time to get up?" "That's okay with me, Shadow," beamed Tunnels. "Come on, I'll show you the way." And Tunnels, the groundhog, wiggled his way back into his warm hidey hole, following by his newest friend, Shadow. Together, they were going to sleep just a little bit longer. So that's the story of the groundhog. How about that? Let's give Tunnels a big round of applause. And we have one more story. And we'll give Tunnels just a minute to get down all the way into his hole. Okay, this story is called The Homely Caterpillar. Do you know what a caterpillar is? Have you seen them already? I see some heads shaking. Okay, well this is a story of the homely caterpillar. On the underside of a milkweed, there nestled a cluster of white tiny eggs, and they glistened like pearls in the warm sun. It shone on them lovingly, and the summer wind whispered and flew just across them. They were lovely eggs. "Something very beautiful is sure to come from those eggs," said the sun and the wind. "So I must keep them warm. The more beautiful things there are in this world, the happier this place will be." Yes, said the wind. I must be careful not to disturb those pearl white eggs. The sun and the wind watched, and they waited, day after day. One egg cracked open. Yeah, that one egg cracked open. And out it came. And it was an ugly, black caterpillar. Ah, the sun was surely disappointed. So it went behind a cloud. And the wind was so disgusted that blew into a whirlwind, breaking off the milkweed. Oh, and the leaves scattered and all the other eggs, and the homely caterpillar fell to the ground. Live or die as you may, said the wind, you're too homely to bother with. And then the wind whirled away. The ugly caterpillar was sad to hear the wind talk this way. She wanted to live, so she slowly crawled back up the milkweed plant and its sturdy stalk until she came to the broad leaf. There she rested until she felt strong again. Soon she began to eat one edge of the leaf. Thank you, sweetheart. And it tasted so good that she ate quite a lot. Then she took a nap, and after a while, she woke up and started eating again. She lived in this way for several days, eating and sleeping, sleeping and eating. And one day, some children came into the meadow where the caterpillar lived. Well, that caterpillar is now kind of getting beautiful colors on it, isn't it? Yellow and black and white. Gorgeous, huh? Well, just as it started to crawl across the tablecloth, she heard the children shriek in terror because they were having a picnic lunch, and the caterpillar wanted to visit. A caterpillar? Ugh, how ugly. Somebody thought it wasn't pretty anymore. You're spoiling our picnic. The children picked up the lunch baskets and ran to another part of the meadow. The poor, homely caterpillar was so unhappy. What am I to do, she asked herself. I don't want to scare the children. I don't want to make the world ugly. So she began to cry. The grasses heard her and rustled in sympathy. Do not cry, they said. Be patient. Be patient. Someday you will understand. The caterpillar bravely dried her tears and went back to life, eating and sleeping, sleeping and eating. She was getting much bigger now. So big that her skin began to feel uncomfortable and tight. One day, it split down the back, and she wiggled and wriggled right out of it. Why, she said loudly, I have a new skin. Huh. How comfy it feels. I wonder, am I still ugly? Yes, indeed, said the sun, who overheard her. Although you do have some nice yellow stripes that aren't bad, and yellow is a good color, and I always wear it. The caterpillar felt encouraged by the sun's words and went on eating. Perhaps, if she ate enough, she would get another new skin. Sure enough, she did. But it was no more beautiful than the old one. twice more she split her skin down the back, and twice more she wiggled and wriggled out to find her new skin, as ugly as her old skin. Then the little caterpillar began to have dreams, and she dreamed she was sailing through the air, and others said, "Oh, look how beautiful." Well, one day, the caterpillar was filled with sudden desire to hang up her heels from the underside of a milkweed leaf. It seemed very silly, but she couldn't help herself. She became quite dizzy, with her head hanging down that way, and everything seemed strange and unreal. As green as a leaf, a beautiful green, and then she drifted off into her dreams again. For a long time, she slept and knew nothing. When she woke up, she was struggling to get out of her skin. Can you struggle? Maybe pretend a blanket's around you. Can you get out of it? Oh. Yet something was very different. She climbed up to the top of the leaf, and a strange new feeling flowed through her whole body, and like the wind and the meadow grass. She lifted her head, and opened her eyes and saw herself. Why, she said, she had wings. Beautiful, russet, brown wings with a delicate pattern of white and black lines and across them, and the dots bordered the black. She fanned her wings, and they went back and forth slowly until she was sure she was strong enough and she had the strength. Then slowly, very slowly, she spread those wings wide across and went flying over the meadow. Woo! Look how beautiful, said the sun. Beautiful, echoed the wind. And even the grass rustled with happiness. The end. Oh, yay, butterfly! I hope you enjoyed the stories. I think there might be one more little show and tell here, so you're welcome to watch that screen over there.
Boys and girls.
Let's give Miss Sheila a big round of
Somebody behind there.
Did you? Did you figure that out? Thank you, Miss Jo Ellen.
Oh, thank you, Miss Sheila.
That's just the purse.
Do you know what, boys and girls? When the stories are over, Luna, would you have a seat? When the stories are over, we're going to go upstairs and make our own groundhog puppet. Boys and girls, you want to sit down? I'm going to tell another story using this. Let's talk about your groundhog puppet. Okay. You're going to have a cup, and you're going to have some grass to wrap around the cup, and you'll have a groundhog. First, color your groundhog. When we're upstairs, you can color your groundhog. There's tape on the tables up there to tape him to a stick. And there's already a hole in your cup. Put him down and up and down.
That'll be fun.
Because it's Groundhog Day tomorrow, and because it's February, I got out a shadow story to show you. Miss Lisa, is my phone handy? I'm sorry, Miss Jen, thank you. I need my phone to tell this story. and you'll see why. Hey, Miss Jen, let's turn off all those lights. That would be fun. Can you sit right down there? You could. You sit right down there. This cat, now we're going to have light, is part of the Shadow Theater. And so is the phone. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on my flashlight. I'm going to take this cat and put it there. Do you see a light? Do you see that light? Do you see it?
See the light?
This is a story about a rabbit who lives here in the meadow, named Hopkins, and he thinks he's so smart. You know why? Because he's the fastest. He says, I'm the fastest. Luna, you'll have to have a seat. That's good. Let's pretend that it's a warm, sunny day. Let's put a cloud in the sky. Can you see the cloud? Do you see that cloud? Let's put another tree here. Do you see a tree? And here's Hopkins. Oops. Here's Hopkins. Racing back and forth. I'm the fastest in the meadow. I'm the fastest in the meadow. Back and forth, back and forth. Singing the same old song. I'm the fastest in the meadow. I'm the fastest in the meadow. Well, guess who heard him? Major the Fox. Now, Major the Fox kind of was a tricky, sly guy, too. And he said, oh, good morning, Hopkins the rabbit. So, you're the fastest, are you? And Hopkins said, you bet I am. I'm the fastest in the meadow. I'm the fastest in the meadow. Watch me, watch me. And ran back and forth, back and forth. Major the Fox just said, you know, Hopkins, we can't tell that you're the fastest unless there's a contest. How about we get the first creature who comes along and you race and we'll see who wins. In fact, Major said, I'll be the judge. Major said he had just the thing. He had a finish line to put here. And who came along? Can you see this guy? Can you see his shadow? Who is that? Can you see him? Can you see him? It's a turtle.
Did you see the turtle?
Major the Fox said, well, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but the first creature who came along was Tortoise the turtle. And Rabbit laughed and laughed. Ha 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 ha. All right, I will race Tortoise the turtle. We'll see who wins. Who do you think's gonna win, Major the Fox? Major said, I don't really know, so we're gonna have to find out. Now Hopkins just got all excited and said, I'll be the winner, I'll be the winner, I'll be the winner. Fox, Major the Fox said, on your mark. Say it with me.
On your mark.
Get set, go! And off they went, and Rabbit was way ahead. Now remember, it was a hot, sunny day in the meadow. And here came Tortoise. Do 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 do. Well, it was such a hot and sunny day, and Rabbit had been running back and forth across the meadow all morning, that he stopped under that shade tree and decided he was so fast and so far ahead, he could probably rest and still win the race. Well, that's exactly what he did. He laid down. It was a sunny, warm day, and in the shade, he fell asleep. He fell asleep. Here comes Tortoise. He went all the way past Rabbit, all the way around the other side of the meadow, almost up into the clouds. Before you knew it, Major the Fox was seeing him come to that finish line, and he crossed it. He crossed the finish line, and Rabbit was still where? Where was Rabbit?
At the tree.
At the tree. Where's Rabbit? At the tree. Boom! He woke up. He said, oh, that's right. That's right, I'm in a race. And he went running around, still thinking he's going to be the winner. Running, only to find out that the race was over. And who won? Who won the race? Turtle!
I didn't think he would win. Turtles are so slow.